Well, it's Sunday evening at about 10:30. I'm about to go to bed. I just finished uploading a chapter to my writing group, and I haven't been all summer, mostly because I've been busy, but also because I was experiencing a little bit of not writing block, but writing reluctance, I would say. Yes, hello. So they say when you're writing, don't edit, don't correct, just do it. Just, just get in there and just write it out, and then you can go back and flesh it out and make it more real or deeper or whatever. Oh, boy. Like I said, it's late. But even I'm really looking forward. I mean, I know it's not that great. Like, I was describing something that my character was doing, and I was saying, and then she would do this, and I would just try to describe it like saying her hand moved across the computer screen in a slashing motion. But it was still, she did this, and then she did that, and then she did this, and then she did that. And I'm kind of like, I was really, I mean, I went through several drafts. Woo! Trying to make it more interesting. One of the guys in my writing critique is 82. He's written a lot of books. I don't know whether he's published them himself or whether, publishing companies have actually, wanted his books. But to me, his books aren't interesting. At least the stories that he's uploaded to the website. He kind of rushes through the scene. He doesn't stop and take the time to really describe something. He just says, hey, she looked beautiful and blah, 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 blah. And that's one of the things that I think I'm really good at for him, helping him out in the critique, is that I say, well, I want to know more about her beauty. You can't just say she's beautiful. You have to describe the beauty. Give me more, and so I didn't want this to be like that, where I'm just like, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this, blah, 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 blah. I wanted it to be, someone that you could sink your teeth into, Anyway. So, I'm still not super great with the flow of the chapter. Like, I had to go into some back history, and it kind of broke up the chapter a little bit as to what she was doing and how she was in it. It kind of went into like a narration, sort of. But it'll be good to go to the critique again, since I haven't been all summer, and see what they say. I switched over to my Mac side because I was going to print it out, but of course I don't have Word on my Mac side, so I can't do that. But I found myself pulling up my old stories folder, and I'm looking right behind the camera screen. I'm looking at something that I wrote when I was in Hawaii, like in 2009, and it's not really what I would call good writing, but I like it a lot because it's funny, Basically, the essence of the story is, my character's walking along the strip in Waikiki. She's just looking at the cheesy tourist shops, and she's just thinking of, like, who would buy this crap, And then she was looking at the Duke, the statue in Hawaii, and then all of a sudden there was this sound of her doom screech, and she turned around to see this truck have its brakes fail and ram into a telephone pole. The telephone pole then fell and rolled and basically bowled her over, and she died. But then, here, let me read this passage. Okay, let me find it. You couldn't exactly say that I saw anything, since I had nothing to actually see with. I really just felt. It was like I was falling through a rainbow with fireworks arcing through it. My consciousness rippled through reds and purples, yellows and pinks, well, like I said, a rainbow. There really is no exact way of describing what happened to me. And then this is where the bad writing comes in. So you're just going to have to use your imagination to the fullest. No, a writer doesn't tell the reader to use their imagination. They help them use their imagination by describing it. Anyway, so she's feeling just colors. It's just, there's just splashes of just colors, and she's not able to see anything, but she's just feeling the color. And then the last, finally, when she comes to the end of that crazy trip, I said, the only color I felt was a beautiful sapphire blue, which, as it happened, was my favorite color. And then, suddenly, I could see again. Everything was blurry and glazed, like I had some kind of fuzzy gauze over my eyes that I couldn't remove. All I knew or could discern or could feel was fear, because I didn't like that I couldn't quite see. It was like I was waking from anesthesia. Once you find consciousness, your mind wants to lurch awake right away, but your body doesn't cooperate. Anyway, I'll go a little bit more and then I'll stop. I don't really know what was happening to me, but after the fireworked rainbow that probably fried whatever brain cells I retained, I was content to just hang out, since I couldn't really do anything else. Moving on past that. Now, what I know so far as me getting hit by a telephone pole, fireworked rainbow, and sapphire blue would be at least described as confusing. But the first object that came into focus for me was a fish. A fish? I was trying to wrap my brain around it. Why would I be staring at a fish? A lot of fish, actually. As I began to look around me, that was almost all I could see. Tons and tons of fish, varying in shapes, sizes, and weirdness. And as for the first time, my brain began to defog a little, and I wondered, what the heck happened to me? Was I dead? Am I in heaven? In my heaven? Am I scuba diving? I just tried to hang back and enjoy the view that I'm sure I've never really seen in its true beauty before, in any of my other non-heaven scuba diving trips. Anyway, so basically what happened is she got reincarnated into a dolphin. And it's really, really short. Excuse me. I would call it really shallow, since I like using the opposite of deep, you know. I would call it a really shallow story, because there's nothing to it. There's no character, you know. She's just this chick that got run over, basically. But I just think it's funny, you know. And you know, people talk about writer's block, or they want to write a novel, but they have no idea what they want to write about. I don't have that problem. I've always had a crazy imagination, you know? And I've always been able to think up stories and just kind of create things. And that's one of the reasons why I feel that this is what I need to do with my life, is I need to be a writer. So here's my chapter. I'm not going to read you any of this, though, mainly because you would need to know a lot more of the story in order to understand it, and I'm not going to go through all that. So, I really miss toking, really, but since August 1st, I haven't purchased any marijuana. I haven't smoked any marijuana, and I really want to, but I'm done. I have cleansed. The cleanse has been successful. The marijuana smoking utilities and facilities have been put away into storage, and I am taking back my life. So yes, I love smoking marijuana, and yes, I enjoy it, but I'm not the kind of personality that can control it very well. So I'd find myself smoking it all the time. Wake up in the morning, have my breakfast, get on my computer, smoke my marijuana. After a couple hours of playing video games, smoke marijuana. Maybe take my dog for a walk, maybe play some more video games. I don't know, it depends on what was going on that day. Come back, if I was going out, if I was hanging out with my friend, if I was doing things, all I would think about when I got home was smoking marijuana again. So it's like I don't have the personality that can do it every now and then, you know? So anyway, this has been a little blurb from the Solitary Cooker. Peace, love, and ganja.